guys, so last week, after wanting to do this for so long, I finally moved to London.
3 years ago, I moved to London with some of my best friends in the world, and while I've had an incredible time working on some amazing and sometimes weird things, as we near the end of 2019, something has hit me.
And it's not just the cold that you currently hear me talking through, although that has also hit me so hard.
His Excellency Tarek Adel, Ambassador of Egypt to the United Kingdom, has great pleasure in inviting you to the official opening of Tutankhamun, Treasures of the Golden Pharaoh.
And that made me realize I've lived in London for 3 years and I've never looked at it. I've never had a day out in London. Never had a day out in London.
So today we're having a day out in London, and where better place to start than Big Ben.
Big boy. Big boy.
These days, because of renovations and international relations, Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament are less interesting to tourists right now. It's mainly just builders and Brexit protests.
This is Big Ben, which unfortunately right now is not the most interesting tourist attraction because he's currently having loads of construction work done upon him. Contrary to popular belief, Big Ben is not actually the tower or the clock. Big Ben is the big bell inside. And actually, Big Ben may be big, but he's not the biggest bell in Westminster.
Whilst you're in Parliament Square, make sure you check out the statues of men, woman with a man behind her, little tiny dog, men, Churchill. Westminster Abbey is also having some surgery done, and don't forget your tourist picture in a red telephone box. Head on down the road to the centre of our democracy at Downing Street, where you'll see probably not much.
Wow.
Keep wandering down the road Whitehall, and eventually you'll get to a horse. You are allowed to stroke this horse, as I found out. The guards will not talk to you, but they might look at your camera and then realize they shouldn't have. Pass through the Horses Guard Parade, St. James's Park, with very friendly squirrels, and you'll eventually find yourself...
There he is!
...at Buckingham Palace.
See, this is the thing, is I don't actually think I've ever done this before. Like, I've lived in London for 3.5 years, and I've never been here. It's so pretty. And so big. What does the flag mean? Does that mean the Queen's in?
It might be that it is flying. It's just not windy enough because it is up the pole. So true. It would be taken down, wouldn't it?
Lizzie, are you there? Lizzie.
Have a quick run down the long road from Buckingham Palace, known as the Mall.
I cannot run back.
And step underneath the Admiralty Arch.
Trafalgar Square! Oh wait, next bus. Trafalgar Square!
Trafalgar Square has only recently stopped being the home of the infamous Extinction Rebellion protests and used to be known as Charing Cross. And that's still the name of the station there.
Interestingly, this is called the fourth plinth, which is the fourth plinth in Trafalgar Square, which is traditionally used to show temporary works of art rather than the old historical men. This used to be a giant blue rooster, which was a feminist sculpture to show a giant blue cock in Trafalgar Square. Literally, that's what it was. And it was brilliant. And now it's not that anymore. It's this boy.
I think this is the most most amount of undisturbed sky I've seen in central London.
Yeah. You can look up and just look at space and the sky, and there's nothing in the way. There's no buildings, there's no skyscrapers, nothing.
I reckon this would be a beautiful place to come to see the sunset and then the stars.
Oh, for sure. Even the sky now looks really
So pretty, isn't it?
Wandering along to Leicester Square, you'll pass the National Portrait Gallery with beautiful portraits of famous and influential people. And into Leicester Square, you'll find loads of restaurants, cinemas, and at this time of year, Christmas decorations.
Wow, isn't it pretty? If you're rich or you're picking up tickets to a premiere, go to the Hampshire Hotel. That's what I look like looking through the bars. Yeah, well, below it is what you look like.
Oh.
This, by the way, is where pretty much all the big famous premieres are in London. I once stood about 2 feet away from Stephen Hawking in this building. My mum met Helena Bonham Carter, just there.
I want to see Helena. I want to see Helena. Where's a selfie?
You can't get a selfie with Helena. Go. my God!
You can wander up through the world-famous Chinatown with restaurants and shops, through to Piccadilly Circus to see the famous advertising boards.
Look at the muscles on that horse.
And now it's time for us to jump on a tube down to Hyde Park Corner
There he is. There's our boy.
for a bit of Christmas shopping at Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland is free to enter, and it's a great place for a little bit of Christmas shopping, to get in the Christmas spirit, and for a delicious mulled wine. There is food and rides and rides and rides and rides, and I went on this ride, and there are rides.
Okay, this is virtual reality. What the hell? Whoa, this is a reality? This is... Whoa! Oh, absolutely not. No, 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 no.
When you're ready to go, you can go on the Underground 2 stops if you're feeling lazy like me.
So pretty.
To our incredible National History Museum, which at this kind of year has its very own ice rink. Set against the beautiful National History Museum, this honestly feels like a scene out of Home Alone or some brilliant Christmas film.
There are no penguins left.
There were. I'm a child. Prepare yourself for a montage of the National History Museum. Poor little dead dodo.
And now it is Tutankhamun time, but first I have to get changed. But I don't want to do it in the event because I want to turn up looking all fancy. So we're going to find... Where can I go? Do you reckon I could just hide here? Just a normal everyday citizen here. Just getting changed in the street. This is so weird. Do you think I can do that thing that you do with your pants when you're in the changing rooms at swimming pool? Where you like put it on underneath?
Oh yeah, and then you just...
I reckon I could do that. Right. Normal citizen. I am the most normal citizen. I don't know about you, but I'm a normal citizen. Are you a normal citizen? You ready for the big reveal of the fancy man?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, he's coming. He's on his way.
Oh.
Anyone seen the fancy man? The fancy man? Yeah, I think he's almost here actually. I think he's just coming in through the door. Whoa.
Oh.
Fancy man needs to do up his buttons.
Oh, no.
Just so you're aware, apparently we're going to be walking down a golden carpet. This is like fancier than like a film premiere.
Wow. Oh my God, Phoenix!
And then we came face to face with the problems of having green hair and a green screen.
Yeah, thank you.
According to the ancient Egyptians, a man dies twice. Once when his soul leaves his body, and a second time after the death of the last person who speaks his name. At the tender age of 9, Tutankhamun ascends to the throne, the most famous of all pharaohs, the one whose name will live forever.
Whoa, look at the doors.
Let's go!
Over the top of the cases, they have a bunch of...
Like Egyptian spells, and Phoenix keeps reading them. So if suddenly...
If I get cursed,
Yeah, if suddenly the world becomes super unlucky, you know who to blame.
it's me, I'm sorry.
Danger. You know what? I'm gonna go in anyway. I wish I could read hieroglyphics. Isn't it just so cool? Like, as a language, it's basically like they had emojis. Like, I know that sounds silly, but that is also literally the closest thing we have. Like, we think it's a strange thing that we have, that they had, like, pictographic language. But
Yeah.
we now have pictographic language. Like, I text and I confirm the tone of the words that I've said using an appropriate emoji, which means that the emoji has language. It conveys sentiment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is all they're doing. So not only did they make him like a little king throne, like little king furniture for when he was 9 when he became the king, they also made him little king weapons to go into battle with. And at age 9, he was the king of the most powerful country in the world. So anything you've achieved, or I've achieved, is irrelevant. The moment we've all been waiting for. I literally learned about this so much in school, and I've never seen any of this stuff in real life. This is really cool.
But by far the biggest shock to us came as we entered the final room.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
That was a shock.
Seeing this carved out of real rock, standing there, right in front of us, with no glass cage in the way, knowing that it was carved thousands of years ago, and we were in some way connected to this world, was the strangest experience. And I hope you get to experience this moment for yourself. But before we left, there was still the most important part of the evening to attend to.
We get to see our photo! We get to see our photo!
my God.
Your green hair, have you got the things to...
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm so excited for this.
5 backgrounds, okay? And yeah, your hair.
Wow, look, where have you gone? I think 4 is the best. 4 of us in the desert, yeah.
You want that one?
Yes, please.
Alright.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you. Please open the masterpiece, Phoenix.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
In the desert.
Were we meant to pay for that?